Bitcoin on the higher time frame seems to be stuck in a symmetrical triangle as Bitcoin traders try to anticipate which way the price will break out. Now, normally in an uptrend, once we see a symmetrical triangle, we should continue to the upside. However, we have certain factors that we need to consider right now that may have us seeing the opposite. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the Bitcoin price specifically, and I'm going to be telling you about a few things that you need to be cautious about. And I'm also going to be going through in detail the dominances, because this is going to help you to prepare for what your altcoins might do next. So if you're new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I'm Annie and this is Trade Travel Chill. Be sure to hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, which surprisingly 44% of people who watch this channel are not subscribed, be sure to hit that bell button down below and turn the notification to all so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. Most of the time on this channel, we're talking about very short-term trades. So if you're not notified as soon as my videos go out, you could miss the move. So let's get started on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. I want to show you here the symmetrical triangle that I'm talking about. Now, by the time this video goes out, it may have broken out one way or another because we are kind of getting a little bit of movement now. But this is the triangle that we've been stuck in since basically last week. We're heading towards the pointy end of it. We would expect a breakout of that triangle fairly soon. We have multiple touches to the upside, multiple touches to the downside, and we're really looking for the hint right now where it might go next. When it comes to the liquidity, I've only marked on my chart here the highest levels above and below price. So anything that's above 100 million is what I've kept marked on the chart so that we can get an idea of where the major liquidity is. And we can see right now, we're looking at these blue lines here as well as these pink lines down here. The liquidity is quite even either side of the triangle. That's always natural in a triangle because in a triangle, people guess. Some people become bearish thinking it's hit resistance and it's struggling, and so they open short positions. That puts liquidity above the triangle. And then other people think, oh, it's a symmetrical triangle from an uptrend, should continue. They open long positions within the triangle and that puts liquidity below the triangle. So it's normal for us to see this, and sometimes it doesn't really help us to know which way we're going to break out. We really need to now at this point in time start looking for hints within the triangle of where the breakout is going to happen. And so one idea of what we could be looking for is one more touch to the bottom of this trend line. Once that happens, that is going to create a higher low from these previous moves that we've seen. And that is where aggressive long traders might open a position, providing that level holds and providing it creates a higher low in relation to this low right here. If that were to happen, we would expect that the price is likely going to break out next and at least come for this liquidity here. The bearish scenario that can happen in a symmetrical triangle after the final touch to the trend line is this move fails to the upside and it creates a lower high. If we get that lower high, that's when we might come for the lower liquidity instead. And if we do that, it's possible that price might come back to the 200 EMA. So I would be looking for this lower high. If we're going to see the bearish scenario play out, I'd be looking for rejections under the 4-hour time frame 50 EMA and potentially also rejection anywhere within this red vector candle here. The two areas kind of line up with each other, making the area of interest somewhere around 95.8 to 96.5. Now, one of the other reasons that we need to be concerned about this triangle potentially breaking to the downside and not doing what traditional technical analysis expects, which is from an uptrend continuation to the uptrend, is because of the funding rates and the leverage currently in the market. This tweet here from Dan Crypto Trade says Bitcoin still trading within perpetual premium, which means longs are paying shorts to keep their positions open. So again, that makes sense. Why are people keeping long positions open currently? It's quite simple because we were in an uptrend, symmetrical triangle, you can Google it, should lead to continuation of the trend. So people are just waiting for this triangle to break out, expecting that it should break out to the upside because of traditional technical analysis. Now he says this is generally fine during a bull trend and near price discovery, but at some point you'd want to see price moving. So it has been a pretty boring week. That triangle has been forming over last week and into this week so far. Every day say that it doesn't break out, these longs keep paying funding rates, and this could cause them to start closing their trades out over time. That would remove some froth. I don't know why that word makes me laugh, but it could also cause a bit of a long squeeze if done in bigger size. Again, another reason why we need to be open to both ways of the triangle breaking out and looking for the hints in the price action to give us the answer as to which way it's going to go. Let's take a look at the funding rates. There's a few altcoins here starting to peak currently. This is just on the 1 day, and we can see that across a few exchanges over here. Now, the most orange areas are in the altcoins. Over to Trading Light now, we're going to see if we can get a hint of where any orders are that might give us an idea of what the larger traders are expecting. At a glance, we can see some high-level orders up at 100K. Natural, we've spoken about that on this channel, that we just expect people are going to be shorting at 100K. Whether that turns out to be a smart idea or not, we don't know, but we do know that prior to the current move, when we had this high over here, we also had a very big sell wall at 100K. Now, this article was written by one of the traders on the Trade Travel Chill team, and if you don't know, we do have a lot of blogs on our website that are completely free for you to access. Silver Wolf here has given some reasons as to why it's so hard for Bitcoin to cross 100K. One of the reasons that he mentions in this article is the sell wall. So he says Bitcoin is stuck just under the $100,000 threshold, and this psychological barrier has created a significant sell wall. Despite high trading volumes, there aren't enough new buyers entering the market to absorb the sell orders and push Bitcoin past this milestone. Market participants are waiting for a decisive breakout, but for now the resistance persists. You can read this whole article by just going to our website, and you can click on the blogs tab here and you'll find it if you want to read the other reasons as well. So when we look below price, we can see that there's also a pretty big buy wall right here as well. And so that is sitting between 90,200 to 89,800. Now, last week I actually posted a tweet where I was doubting my own technical analysis, and these orders, after I posted that, I'll show you the tweet in a second, but after I posted that, these orders disappeared and they're back again. So that's interesting to me that they're come back. And this was a tweet that I posted on Thanksgiving actually. And the reason I was doubting myself is because I know that US holidays make price rather unpredictable. So I will rarely trade them unless something is looking extremely obvious. But this was the idea that I had in mind, two scenarios, a bearish and a bullish scenario. And this was based on the Trading Light orders being at that zone that I just pointed out. The first one was price failing to break above this red candle right here. If it couldn't break above, that would actually be bearish, where I'd expect this part to actually play out and us come into those long orders between the 90.2 to the 89.8. The other scenario was that we still reject somewhere in this candle, but we create a higher low. And that was based off there being high level buy orders at 93,800. Now that didn't happen. So those orders aren't there anymore. And there's still a chance that this bearish scenario might actually play out. And the reason I was doubting myself is because I simply just expected it to happen sooner. So this was on the 8-hour chart. So we have a look at the 8-hour chart now. This was where the price was at the time. And this little green area here, this is where the target would be if that idea was to actually play out. And if we did come down there again, we're going to take out all of this liquidity and we're going to line up with that 4-hour time frame 200 EMA. So my advice would be, unless we get a strong higher low, even this is the 8-hour showing the 50 EMA lining up with a trend line. So I think that's a very good time frame to watch. Unless we get a very strong bounce there, I will not be opening new long positions, because if we continue to show weakness there, it's likely that the rest of that original trade idea might actually end up playing out. Now, even if that happens, that doesn't mean that, you know, it's over and we're going to have a big, massive dump. My target there is really not all that bad. You know, 90,200 to 89.8. It's not that huge of a flush out. It doesn't mean that the cycle will be over. When it comes to macro cycle analysis, we want to pay attention to Jason Pizzino, where he's saying that peak cycle highs may still be a way off for assets like stocks and crypto. When we take a broad look at the market, there are still a lot of investors that are thinking stock market, real estate, and crypto gains so far are too good to be true, and this time they're going to get out before the crash. That's very much in line with what I've been telling you, that I actually think this cycle, the problem outcome is not necessarily going to be that people get stuck being bag holders. We are more likely this cycle to end up getting out way too early because a lot of us are still feeling the fear of the last bear market, which really did hurt a lot of people. The 18-year cycle, everything bubble peak, still has more time to develop and bring major FOMO, unlike what we have seen. So we're all good, guys. Just a little bit of a retracement. We can handle this. We just need to relax. And so speaking of which, we want to zoom out to have a look at what is actually going on the daily time frame. And you can see here, I've shared this chart many times on this channel, and this is what I'm following for my own personal macro analysis. I can see after the W formation, when Bitcoin hit the 49K region, I counted my level 1. I'm counting all of this as level 2. It makes sense for us to consolidate or retrace or just, build a higher time frame consolidation range, which, let's face it, if Bitcoin did come down to that target, it really would just be ranging. It wouldn't really be a huge retracement. So all of this actually does make sense to me before we eventually get level 3. And it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of assessing what happens in this zone, where if you want new entries, you just need the patience and to be watching what happens in this zone. When we have a look at the heat map, now this heat map comes from High Block Capital. They have a lot more features than just this heat map, but I just wanted to tell you that High Block still have their Black Friday deal going on. So if you are interested in getting this so that it can help you with your own technical analysis, there is a link in the description of the video. That's just to help you get the right website. It's actually, don't earn anything from you guys taking advantage of that deal, but I like the software and I like to tell people what I use. So with this one, we can see that there is a cluster around the 100K mark, a cluster of liquidity above price. Again, makes sense with that sell wall. If price was to head up there, it would wipe out this liquidity and we probably would see some sort of short-term correction. But we also have the same cluster of liquidity down here between the 89 to 91,000 kind of region as well. Now, I know what you're thinking, because we're looking for the green to yellow zones, and you're probably thinking, well, what about this all the way down here at 54? You got to understand there is liquidity that will be left behind at times. So I don't see us revisiting this anytime soon. Now, guys, before I get into the next part of the video, I just want to say a huge thank you to you, especially if you caught my video that I did on this channel yesterday, because in yesterday's video, I made a big plea to you to help me beat the bots on this channel that are absolutely crushing my comment section. And in doing that, it's suppressing my views. So if you are getting value from this video, I beg you to please do the same thing. Just keep commenting down below. Just a couple of words will do. It helps to let YouTube know that the comments on this video are real. They're not coming from bots. People get value from this content, and therefore YouTube will help me reach more people. So massive thank you to everyone who did that yesterday. And please, if you have 2 seconds and you're getting value from this video, just a very quick comment below will really help me. And whilst you're there, smash the like button. Now we're going to get into what all of this means for your altcoins. But before we get into that, I just want to show you quickly one of our channel sponsors. Bitget is one of my favorite exchanges, and I want to show you why using an exchange like Bitget is a really good exchange to use, especially when we're in a bull market. There are very few exchanges that offer this one feature that I'm about to tell you about. In addition to this feature, it has everything else. So you can trade spot, you can trade margin, you can trade futures, you can copy trade, you can trade with bots, you can use earn features. It has everything that you could possibly need. But the one thing that I mostly love about the Bitget exchange is this right here, their coin M futures. What this means is that you can actually trade using the actual coin that you want to accumulate. So usually when you trade futures, you're often trading in USDT. So you might trade something like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, but all you're really doing is trading the price of that asset. And when you take your profit, you're still taking it in a stable coin. In a bull market, we don't want a stable coin. We want to be generating our profits in assets that are continuing to rise in price. That's what coin futures allows you to do. So in the coin futures platform, you can, for example, decide to trade Bitcoin and everything looks exactly the same. However, when you choose your margin down here, you will choose your margin to be Bitcoin, for example. And that means A, you need to own some Bitcoin spot. So you will own your Bitcoin spot first, you transfer it in here, you change your asset to Bitcoin, and then when you actually take your profit on your trade, the trade profit will be realized in Bitcoin. And that means you now own more spot Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin keeps going up, which we don't expect the cycle to be over, so we do expect Bitcoin to eventually continue up, now you're profiting from the gains of holding that spot and you didn't actually have to physically buy it. It's an absolute game changer. And you can see here in this list, they usually only have the majors available, but there's quite a few altcoins for you to choose from to do that with as well. So in addition to all of that being amazing, if you use the link in the description of this video, you will also get 20% trading fee rebate for life. Now, don't fall for the scam. There are a lot of channels out there that are starting to offer trading fee rebates, but you only get them for 1 month. That's really not going to help you. In the long run, you want a trading fee rebate for life, for as long as you decide to be a crypto trader. And that's what we do here on this channel. So use the link down below if you're interested in trading this or spot or anything else that you want to do on Bitget, because that link, once you've created your account, will also get you access to our free Discord. And once you're in our free Discord, you'll see this channel right here. You just come down, click on the Bitget button, enter your details, and that will unlock access to the free side. In the free side, you can get access to my chart updates that I do multiple times a week. And there's also a general chat area where you can talk with other members of the community. It's a really active place to be, so worth checking out. Now, as promised, let's get into these dominances. So I'm going to talk to you first of all about the Bitcoin dominance, because this was something that I was telling you guys to watch and it has finally broken. So the 200 EMA on my chart is the yellow EMA. And if we zoom out, we can see that for the most part, it has held as support since around March 2023. And we have finally broken below that 200 EMA. Now, it is in a straight downtrend right now, so we do need confirmation of a trend change. And confirmation happens eventually when this finds its bottom and creates a lower high. Then at that point, we would expect further continuation to the downside. This can potentially be a good thing for your alt season. And speaking of alt season, we can see that this chart that everybody watches for alt season has finally broken into the alt season range. This is just confirmation of alt season. Really, the time to get involved is prior to that, in anticipation of this happening next. So hopefully most people are filled up with their altcoins, but there's still room to go. I wouldn't be panicking if you don't have the altcoins that you want right now. Eventually there will be a leverage flush out. Now when, I can't tell you, but eventually there will be. At the end of the day, just trade what you see. And if altcoins have moved massively, which some of them have, and I'm going to show you that in a second, then when we do get that leverage flush out, they're going to give you some really nice higher low entries. So just have patience for that for now. And whenever the leverage flush out happens is when it happens. So the one thing we want to be careful of, however, is we need to make sure that if the dominance is being removed from Bitcoin, that it's not moving to stable coins, because then that's not actually good for alt season, because what it means is risk off. So when we have a look at the USDT dominance, we can see that this is nicely holding support currently. We actually want to see this break down. So the more the USDT dominance breaks down, at the same time Bitcoin dominance breaks down, the more we know that probably everything's moving into altcoins. And then we look at the chart that is related to the altcoins, which I like to use the others chart because it minuses the top 10. And I kind of want to get an idea of like overall alt season. So looking at this, we've broken resistance, didn't get the higher low that we wanted. You know, sometimes that's an aggressive entry, so you're lucky if you get it. It just means now, because we've broken out, we're now looking for a retest. So a retest will confirm alt season if we're lucky enough to get that as well. Don't always get retests. But what may happen is, in order for this to retest like this, it would be perfect if the Bitcoin dominance comes up to create the lower high. So while this is moving up, we would want to see the total move down. And if those two things happen at the same time, that might be where we end up seeing our higher low created on the altcoins that you want, giving you the perfect entry. That really is perfect case scenario. And that may not happen, but that's what I would be looking for to gain my confidence. Now, I just want to quickly point out the Solana dominance on the weekly time frame, because what we have happening right now is a little bit of a rising bearish wedge. And this could end up causing a little bit of a correction in Solana. So I just wanted to let you know, not that I think that would be bad. Again, any correction to me would just be short term. It's a good chance to buy higher lows. So this could be a bit of an early indication. I'd keep an eye on it. it, especially if you're in Solana, could be a hint to take some profit. But also if you don't have Solana and you've been wanting to get in, but it's such a high price, this might end up, if it does break to the downside, might end up giving you that decent correction to get in. Now we've got some altcoins that have absolutely gone crazy this week, and I just want to go through them now. But let me know if you would like this week for me to do a altcoin live stream. I need you to let me know in the comments down below if that is something that you would join me for. Otherwise, I'll just sit on the couch and relax. But we've seen XRP, massive move. I covered this on my video yesterday. 425% in the last few weeks from this breakout right here. When we have a look at targets on the weekly time frame for XRP, we've broken 100%. We've broken 127. We probably won't make it to 161.8. So I did say on yesterday's video that I was taking 30% profit on my XRP. It was looking a little bit toppy, and so I would be keeping an eye around this 1.27 mark on lower time frames, so pretty much around the $2.50 kind of area. If we continue to see weakness on lower time frames, that's where we might sort of top out here just for a little while, potentially get a correction, potentially just consolidate before we start the next move up. XLM was another one that's done a major move, 500% since this breakout right here, and it's heading towards its resistance at 0.71. H-bar, which us Aussies called H-bar. I know you guys love it when I say H over H, but H-bar, again, since its breakout over here only a couple weeks ago, 724%. Its weekly resistance is at 0.43. Waiting to see if we can make it all the way up there before a correction, may have a little correction prior. Algo is another one that's done some crazy things. Look at this, 557%, but look, it's only just coming to this really low area of interest. There's still a lot of opportunity here. It's natural that it might move up to this area and reject and actually change the structure, because this is just straight up. So in the ideal world, there might actually still be time to get in on this eventually if it comes back to retest an EMA and create a higher low. Remembering this is the weekly, so it will take a long time. If all of that were to happen, you would expect a breakout next. And if you were lucky enough to get involved around there, I mean, just back to its weekly high, you know, it's a 710% move. So Algo's one worth keeping an eye on. And the other one that is worth keeping an eye on is actually Curve. When you have a look at Curve here, you can see this is a long period where it bottomed out, and it's looking to try and change the structure now. So it may go a little bit more. You know, the resistance for this is up here at around 1.21. So it may get there. Look, it is at a resistance kind of level right now as well. So either one of these two, between 0.85 or 1.21, looking for rejection there for then it to come back to actually prove this new structure. And it will prove that by creating a higher low. That would be another chance to get in on Curve with massive upside potential. So if this is the kind of stuff that you want to see me do more of, this is what I can cover for you guys on a live stream, but I need you to let me know in the comments down below. And in addition to that, if you actually want to learn how to do all of this stuff for yourself, consider joining us over at Trade Travel Chill, because our Black Friday sale is actually still on. So that is the last chance. And if you message us and say, oh, I missed out, can I get it? Once it's gone, because we actually delete the Black Friday membership from our website, and it's actually not possible to give it to you. So at the time of filming this video, you have a little over 24 hours. By the time this video gets on the internet, you will only have 24 hours. And the membership that I'm talking about is this Black Friday one right here. It is currently $25 per month for the first 3 months. It gives you access to everything that you need. If you are brand new to cryptocurrency, and I mean you don't know how to draw things on charts, you don't know what support and resistance is, all that sort of stuff, you need this Zero to Crypto course. But if you already have those basics under your belt and you're ready to take it to the next level, you like the technical analysis that we do on this channel and you want to learn that, you can go straight into this course, the Trade by Design course. Now, this is not like a intro course and then you have to upgrade. This is the full course. You could fully trade off this course alone if you dedicate your time to it. There are 56 lessons in this course alone, and you can get them for $25 per month for the first 3 months. We also have our heat map and liquidation data course that teaches you software like this, Trading Light. It teaches you how to understand high block. So the combination of that with the Trade by Design course, it's really everything that I show you on this channel. I'm not hiding things from from you just to get you in at a cheap price. I'm giving you the best of what we offer. You also get a custom version of our indicators, trade journal, Discord access, account support, my charts, my team's charts. Not only that, with all of our memberships, we do have a risk-free money-back guarantee. So if you get in there and you're like, I hate this, which I hope you don't, and if you do, like, give us that feedback so we can improve. But if you get in there and within 48 hours you decide this is absolutely not for you, there is a risk-free money-back guarantee. So you really have nothing to lose. $25 and you can get started. So guys, up to you. If you want one of those memberships, 24 hours left in order to get it at that price, or you can come join our free Discord using the Bitget link. Everything is linked in the description down below. And don't forget to leave me that comment and let me know if you want me to do an altcoin live stream this week.